Yeah, delighted to say we're now joined by former England captain Nasser Hussain. Morning to you, Nas. Difficult question this, I suppose, but who would be the happier of the two captains as they tuck into their dinner in Hamilton tonight?
Yeah, difficult question. It's around about 50-50. Past score in recent times at Seddon Park, Hamilton, is around about 350. So England will feel they've done pretty well, especially after the start New Zealand got. They were 105 for none, going well at lunch, and then England fought back well in that second session. So it's pretty even, Stevens. It was 50-50 decision at the toss. Stokes decided to bowl first because of the cloudy skies. It is generally a very flat pitch in Hamilton. So both captains will be reasonably happy. I think New Zealand were disappointed with the start they had. They didn't go on and get a bigger score. There were some soft dismissals in that middle session.
What about Matthew Potts then, Nasser? Rewarded the faith of the selectors with 3 wickets on his return. It seems there's suddenly no shortage of bowling options for England.
Yeah, and he's another one. I mean, he's got big heart, big character, and a lot of skill as well. And he gets good players out. I think that's 4 times in 5 innings now. He's got Kane Williamson out. And England needed to dig deep in that middle section. And Potts sort of epitomises that. Every time he's played for England, that's exactly what he does. Stokes knows him well from the Durham connection. Stokes wants to play him, to give him experience, to build up that crop of fast bowlers. And they are all coming in and doing very well. He came in for Chris Wokes. Atkinson, excellent again. Cast was struggling a little bit with cramp and some blisters in his feet. He's played all 3 games. But England are building a crop of fast bowlers. Obviously, Stokes doesn't want to talk too much about the Ashes, but that is less than a year away. And conditions in Hamilton are a little bit more similar to what they'll find in Australia. A Kookaburra ball, a flat pitch, hot conditions in the afternoon. And that's when you need to dig deep. And Potts absolutely does that every time he plays for Durham or England.
Nas, you briefly touched upon Gus Atkinson, and as you say, Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes have made no secret of the fact that they're thinking a sort of year in advance to the Ashes. And suddenly, 50 wickets in his first calendar year, all in the space of 6 months. He is inked into those plans a year from now.
Absolutely, an incredible year for him, really. 5-wicket haul, a 10-wicket haul, 50 wickets, 100, a hat-trick. Yeah. It has gone absolutely perfectly for him. And it's sort of on the back of the decision to retire James Anderson after that first Test match at Lord's in the summer. A few people saying, right, should we go the emotional route and play James Anderson, try and get him past the great Shane Warne, maybe retire him at Old Trafford. They made the tough call, and you can see why, because they believed that they needed to introduce the likes of Atkinson, Cast, reintroduce Potts, get people in with overs under their belt. Before they got Zimbabwe, then they've got India at home and Australia away. But Atkinson has had an incredible, less than a year now. He's been quite brilliant.
We've got to have a word on Tim Southee. Provided some entertainment in what could be his final Test innings with the bat. How should he be remembered, Nasser? How will he be remembered?
He'll be remembered as one of the all-time New Zealand greats, their leading wicket-taker across formats over 16 years. And in Test match cricket, only the greatest of New Zealand cricketers, Sir Richard Hadlee, has more. So, and with the bat, as we saw again today, he started with 9 sixes in Napier against England 16 years ago. And he looks like he's going to finish with a bit of fun as well. 98 Test match sixes, but his primary skill is his bowling. And he's such a skillful swing bowler, uses the crease brilliantly, bowls that wobble seam delivery, or as New Zealanders call it, the 3/4 seam delivery. Brilliant slip catcher, brilliant fielder across formats. He will be remembered as an all-time great of New Zealand cricket. Ending on his home ground where he plays for Northern Districts. His family were there. He was given a guard of honour by Stokes and the team. And he should, hopefully, if you're a New Zealand fan, he'll bow on a high note, get some wickets, and maybe even get 100 Test match sixes. We shall see.
Yeah, lovely. Played for a long time alongside England's head coach, of course, as well. Nas, just looking ahead to tomorrow, obviously clean up the New Zealand tail as quickly as possible, and then I imagine England will put the foot in the accelerator as they always seem to do. What sort of total should Stokes and England be aiming for?
Just the first innings lead. It'll be fascinating to watch again, as it often is with this England side, in that New Zealand played really well in that first session, but their openers in Latham and Young, who's come into the side, some say a little bit too late. He should have played throughout. They left the ball. They were a bit more old school. Let the bowlers come to you, leave the ball outside off stump. That is not how England play in their openers. They go hard. It's obviously a big day for Crawley. Matt Henry's had his number in this series. Bethel again at 3. England will go hard. It's quite a quick scoring ground, Hamilton, and they will put pressure on New Zealand's bowlers. It will be a completely different pace of play to what we saw in that first session this morning or overnight. So as ever, England will go hard, and they have a long batting lineup. Potts coming in for Wokes. Potts can bat as well. They bat all the way down, as we've seen in the last 2 Test matches. And I guess tomorrow will actually, going back to your original question as to who has had the better day, tomorrow will define who's had the better day today.
Yeah, and you can guarantee it will be entertaining. Never a dull moment with England. Nas, thanks very much as always.
Thank you.